Well, good afternoon. I'm George. Um, Gonna ramble a little bit again today. Um, Went to church and was, listening to the preacher, and how sometimes somebody will say something and it'll just throw your mind going down some other rabbit path, which it did for a while. God forgive me, but it was it was okay, food for thought. Um, but I had a friend yesterday that posted something along the lines, and it was somewhat said in humor that along they were alone, were tired of being alone to the point they were about to do something foolish or crazy. And I think really what they meant by that is they would almost settle for the wrong person just to continue to be alone. Um, and and you can be alone, and pretty much know what I'm going to say before I say it, even if you're in a relationship with somebody. But we just went through um, Valentine's. It might as well have been Halloween for me, but anyway, Valentine's. And that is probably the worst holiday to be single. There's no way around it. That's the one holiday that friends and family can't help if you don't have that significant other in your life to concentrate on. It's just gonna be a bum day, so you might as well go ahead and prepare for it. But anyway, um, with that said, it just put me to thinking about a lot of things. Um, I was married for 29 years. Um, I am divorced. For those that didn't know that, you may be shocked, but I think the majority of you knew it. Would have never thought I would be. Number one is I'm not a quitter, but sometimes you realize it's too one sided. There's nothing you can do about it. So you either stay in a relationship that basically is unfulfilling and miserable if the other person won't get help um, of any type, or you move on. Um, and I moved on. Create a whole. I will tell you one thing: if there's any way around it, don't. But if it comes and that's what you're going to have to do, then get your backbone and go ahead and do what you got to do. It's a no-win situation, but it's a couple of things that I have learned though from both being married as well as relationships I've had since then is number one is don't let it be one-sided. If it's one-sided, you need to get out of it before it ever gets to the marriage standpoint. The other thing is that the differences between men and women. Ladies, you're absolutely beautifully created creatures from God. Extremely complicated, even though you don't think you are. We men, if you gave us a key, we couldn't find a lock. I mean, we're clueless. The what you need, I almost think the biggest difference between men and women, to a degree, is a woman won't. Men don't talk period half the time, but women just will not tell you what they want. They want a hint, and we're supposed to understand that. And I literally will tell you that if we're in a relationship and you're hinting to me what you want, if I don't deliver it, it's your fault. Because I'll tell you up front, now you tell me what you want and I don't do it, then that's my fault. But if you're throwing hints and expect me to figure it out, chances are I'm going to screw it up. So just tell me, be done with it. Women love the nurturing and the tenderness and the gifts. And I won't say that men don't enjoy that, but ladies, what you need to really come to grips with, and there have been studies that prove this, that with the vast majority of men out there, that appreciation and respect means as much to us as love does. If you appreciate what we do, and I know men, we've all been accused, and probably rightfully so, that we're not, we don't bring them no flowers. We used to send them little love notes, and we don't do this, and we don't do that. But ladies, have you ever thought if you had ever got to the point that instead of recognizing when we did not do it, that you had always acknowledged how it made you feel when we did do it, that maybe we would be still continuing in that. Because once we've stopped and you call it to our attention, then we're caught in that stupid triangle of, well, I want to do it, but if I do it now, it's because she told me to and not because I wanted to, which is stupid. Do it anyway, guys. It's, believe it or not, they don't look at it that way. It's, we all come with baggage. There is a saying that says, find someone that can help you unpack the baggage. And that's really all we need. If, God didn't create us to be alone. He's given us a desire to have a helpmate in our life. And it is a normal feeling to want someone in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're alone and you're miserable, I don't know but what you shouldn't be, because that's really not the way God created us or wanted us to be. He wants us to have someone in our lives. It's what's bad is a lot of us, and I'll say us, have a tendency to make the same mistake. The very thing that created our desire and interest in the last person that turned out to be so wrong for us is also the person that we fall for next has those same stupid qualities. Be it quote unquote the girls that like the bad guy image or bad boy image, I think they call it. After 2 or 3 bad boys that don't pan out because they're so egotistical and self-centered that every woman that shows them attention they want to go down the road with, you would think after a while you would realize that maybe you need somebody a little more stable, a little less edgy, a little more caring. And guys, we look too much at the external. And ladies, you probably do too. Probably a little less than we do. I think women in general have a tendency to look sometimes at the man versus, just the package that he's in. Ladies, we don't expect you to be perfect. What we expect is for you to be loving and caring, that you will appreciate what we do. Let us know that you appreciate it. And for those that are married and have the intimacy, don't hide yourself. We don't expect you to step out of a Vogue magazine. Number one is most of us are not good looking enough that we would have got you anyway. But just be open and be yourself. Don't be what society wants you to be. What attracted us to you is you. So if you change that for whatever reason, because your girlfriend, whatever, talks about what worked for her, and just accept that you're what we wanted. Don't change. Don't change either direction. Either don't go downhill as well as. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in. But it off to a little funnier note. Text my sister. I guess it was yesterday, and I had just a few minutes that I just kind of felt alone. I told her, I said, I'm lonely tonight. And my sister's extremely educated. Got a doctorate degree in counseling and psychology. Works with it every day of her life and is extremely good at it. Her answer to me was, I know you are, but there'll be someone out there for you in the future. I texted her back. I said, all that education, and that's the best you got. Believe it or not, the humor kind of actually helped the situation. So it's not unusual. The thing that's hardest for me to get used to is when I am most alone is when I'm in a group. Something will happen, it'll be funny, and you'll turn around to tell that person or to share it with that person, and they're not there. And then it hits you. They're not there. Other things go through your mind too, like where are they? But that's another story. But it's Misery loves company, and there are so many, so many in the same boat that we are that are alone. And the really bad part about it is I don't care how crowded the boat is, we're still alone. I don't have an answer for this one. I hope my sister's right. I'm hoping that very shortly God will take mercy and say, okay, George, here's Miss Wright. I've been grooming you for her and her for you for years. And there's also another, I'm a quote freak. There's another one, that the quote that says that there is no happy ending to love because it never ends. Quite candidly, that's what I want. To have that individual that I can laugh and giggle and jump out of airplanes with and be okay. I don't really want to jump out of airplanes, but if I'd do it if it made her happy. But that I can curl up with, have her leaning on my chest while I'm watching TV, and be totally, completely at ease, comfortable, and for that moment, have every need in my life fulfilled. And I pray God will send that. I've got faith He will, but it's a little more faith some days than others. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the ramblings. I'm sure that taking relationship advice from a guy who has no relationship is absolutely the smartest thing in the world you can do. But hey, been there, done that. Maybe I can help you. Good afternoon.